Did you know that most organizations struggle to realize the full value of their quote to cash programs? A quote to cash implementation is one of the most complex enterprise transformations an organization can take. Studies consistently show that 70% of quote to cash implementations fail to achieve their intended business outcomes. Do you know why? It is because a lot of organizations do not apply the best change management practices to increase how people understand, embrace, and adopt the quote to cash implementation. Which is why in this video, I will show you exactly how to apply a proven step-by-step organizational change management framework to help you drive successful user adoption of your organization's quote to cash implementation. Following these change management best practices will help you minimize resistance and ensure business outcome from your quote to cash rollout. Let's jump right into it. Take a look at my screen. You will see the four change management phases for you to keep in mind when doing change management for a Q2C initiative. The first phase is for you to assess readiness for the quote to cash implementation. Phase two of your change management program is what we call the design and develop phase for your quote to cash implementation. Phase three is your implement and manage adoption phase of your change management program for any quote to cash implementation you are supporting. And the final phase, phase four, is where you reinforce and sustain the new behaviors for your quote to cash implementation. Next, I will go over each of these phases in detail, starting with phase one. And it is very important for you to track along, as every component I will be going over with you today is important for your own success. You can always rewind this video and take screenshots, or rewind this video to re-listen to specific sections. So let's go ahead and go over the first phase. For phase one, there are 6 change readiness assessments you should really understand to help you determine how to deliver change management for your quote to cash implementation. The findings from your 6 readiness assessments will tell you exactly where you and your team should focus your entire change management efforts for your quote to cash implementation. The first assessment is what we call the current state and culture assessment. During this assessment, you want to answer this key question. Here it is. Is the culture of impacted groups ready to accept, embrace, and adopt a transformational quote to cash implementation? That is your key question you want to answer by assessing the culture and also the current state. You can use surveys or focus groups to gather this level of information. At the end of this call, I will show you how to download a free readiness survey for you to start using today. The second assessment is your quote to cash change impact assessment. And this really helps you understand what is changing, who is impacted by the quote to cash program, as well as the level of impact by function or by role. And you can conduct this quote to cash change impact assessment using the free change impact assessment template on my screen. As you can see, I have included sample data, but you can delete the sample data and enter your own data for your quote to cash change impact assessment. Include the impacted divisions, departments, level of impact, number of people that will be impacted, the current state and the future state, as well as information for change management training, communication, and also engagement. I often get questions about, hey, Obi, how do we gather this quote to cash change impact assessment information? To gather this information, you will want to meet with business analysts that helped put together the process flows. You can also meet with your project team as well as functional leads. Basically, anyone involved in mapping the process flows for your quote to cash implementation, you want to meet with them and basically gather information on the processes that are changing, the tools that are impacted, the people that will be impacted. Next, you want to identify resistance that may derail your quote to cash implementation. That can include proactive or reactive levels of resistance. For doing your resistance assessments and also management for your quote to cash, you can use the free resistance management template that I am currently sharing on my screen. Something to keep in mind though is this. After you populate this document, make sure you keep the document confidential and show it to people on a needs to know basis. And this is what you will use to mitigate resistance to your quote to cash implementation. At the end of this video, I will give you access to all of these free templates and resources. Okay? All right. Another assessment you will want to do is mapping your stakeholders. Stakeholder mapping for quote to cash implementation ensures that everyone that will be impacted by your quote to cash rollout is identified and engaged appropriately. And you can use the free stakeholder mapping and assessment template that I am currently showing on my screen. When you are populating this template, you want to ensure you enter the type of stakeholder, their first name. You can also do first name and last name. What group are they part of? What is their interest level for the quote to cash implementation? Is it high? Is it low? What is their ability to influence and their ability to impact? All of this information are very important when you put together your change management strategy, which we are going to discuss in a few minutes' time. Another assessment you want to conduct, and this one is absolutely critical, it is the enablement needs assessment. What exactly do I mean by enablement needs assessment? Well, different departments and groups often have different preferences to how they want to receive change management. Some groups have preferences for how they want to receive communications that are different from other groups. Different groups have preferences for how they want to be engaged, how they want to be briefed, how they want to be trained. And so it is important that you meet with selected individuals within each of the groups that will be impacted by your quote to cash implementation to gather their preferences. This will really help your success. And finally, when it comes to assessments, you also want to deliver a readiness survey to help you gather what is the level of awareness of the quote to cash program. What is the level of receptiveness? What is the level of knowledge of the change and more? Also, at the end of this video, I will show you how to download that free standardized survey that a lot of organizations use that you can actually start using starting today. And before we dive into phase 2, if you need someone to help you do all of these change management heavy lifting to help ensure you are successful, feel free to reach out to me. See the link below. Phase 2 is the design and develop phase for your quote to cash implementation. During this phase is where you will be designing your change management strategies, developing your detailed change management plans, and also developing the key materials that will be used for your change management activities to help increase adoption of the quote to cash implementation. Those activities will involve developing assets to help communicate, enable, train, and support impacted users to help them accept, embrace, and become proficient in using the quote to cash changes. You will want to create your change strategies for how change management will be delivered. There are multiple strategies which I am currently outlining on my screen that cover all angles for your quote to cash change management strategies. They cover from communication and engagement to resistance and training. There is a strategic playbook that I have used many times to increase my own success as a change management consultant when delivering quote to cash enterprise wide implementation. And I will give you that playbook for free, but let me quickly show you what it looks like. When you get into the strategic playbook template, which is in PowerPoint, you will see this cover slide, which is the first slide. You click and then you get to this strategic playbook overview slide. And this slide provides a quick summary of the recommended strategies that you want to consider to help increase change adoption for any project that you might be implementing. As we go through this strategic playbook, I will highlight some key information that you need to know. The first one is when you access and you are using this template playbook, you want to ensure that you include impacted audience. Which groups or personas or job roles will be impacted by your project? You also want to include the level or the severity of impact and ensure that you socialize this slide with stakeholders and also leadership. Your communication strategies, you can leverage the ones that we currently have here on the template, but we recommend that you implement a hybrid communication approach that involves a top-down and a bottom-up approach. What exactly is this? With the top-down, and here is a visual representation, with the top-down, the change and program team are providing communications to leaders and managers and asking them to cascade those communications to end users. For the bottom up, it starts from the bottom. The change and the program team, including the champions, are sending up communications to everyone. That's a bottom up. And so your approach is to use both of them, which is why we call it a hybrid approach. It is very effective to increase change management successes. Within the playbook, you will notice we have also included the channels that you can use to communicate out your change project. This is a template, meaning you have to take this and make changes to it to ensure it matches your project and also your organization. Another strategy included here is the engagement strategy. And here you would notice we propose you do a two-way communication and engagement approach. What is the difference between communication and engagement? Well, engagement really is the interactive component of communicating a change. It involves doing briefings, conducting meetings, doing roadshows, giving people the opportunity to ask questions in real time. So you want to include what we are looking at here on this slide as part of your engagement strategies. And here we are actually providing visual views of the different channels you will want to consider using as part of your strategies for engaging impacted users. So there is a kickoff event, there are roadshows, town halls, focus meetings, and you also have interactive workshops, conduct focus groups, feedback sessions, engage your champions with regular meetings, conduct drop-in support calls, do virtual Q&A sessions, and also have stakeholder roundtables. Now, obviously, it might not be possible for you to do every single one of these, which is fine. The goal is we are presenting you with a portfolio of options. It is up to you to determine which one or two or three or four you have the bandwidth and the capability to implement. Another strategy included here is how to mitigate resistance. You want to apply a proactive and a reactive approach. A proactive approach is identifying where resistance will come from and then developing the plans to ensure it doesn't come up. Reactive is when you identify resistance and then you have to mitigate that. This strategic playbook also includes strategies for engaging with leaders and also sponsors. And you can see here we have included respective activity types, cadence, how often, and also the purpose. And then there is also strategies for your change champion network, as well as strategies for your training deliverables. Here we've included different strategies to help increase your success. Now, once again, that was a quick overview of the strategic playbook, which is free. And the goal is you take this template and you customize it to match your purpose, your project, and your organization. Next, you will want to create your detailed step-by-step change management plans, including your engagement, communication, and training plans. As you can see on my screen, I have highlighted some of the key plans for you to deliver as part of your change management quote to cash efforts. Together, all of these plans ensure that your quote to cash implementation is not just planned, but executed in a structured, measurable way that will increase user adoption. You also want to create your communication assets, which you will be using to drive awareness and also engagement during your quote to cash rollout. You will want to draft invites, which you will use for your kickoff sessions, onboarding, and training reminders. You also want to draft emails about your quote to cash that you will use to provide updates to stakeholders and impacted users. You will also draft your quote to cash get ready and countdown communications. You will also draft your quote to cash go live announcements as well as post go live announcements via email. You will also consider newsletters. Newsletters are very helpful to help maintain momentum and also share success stories. But here is the key. The key is consistency. What do I mean by that? You want to ensure that you are communicating early, often, and using multiple formats so messages land across all audiences that will be impacted by your quote to cash implementation. You also want to draft the materials that you will use to onboard, engage, and equip the champions that will support your quote to cash rollout. That includes champion materials like the onboarding kickoff deck and also the champion toolkit. As part of the free resources I will provide to you today, I will be providing you with a sample champion onboarding deck, which you can use to do your kickoff for your champions. In addition, you should create a leadership engagement, a set of materials to help leaders actively champion the quote to cash rollout. Take a look at my screen. There are multiple things here, but look towards the bottom right. You see where it says leader action roadmap. That is absolutely critical. I use this a lot and it has increased my success drastically in getting leadership engaged. What exactly is a leader action roadmap, you might be wondering? Well, a leader action roadmap really is a one slide that looks very similar to what you are looking at here, that clarifies what is expected before, during, and after go live for leaders. When you put this together and you give it to your leaders, it helps them a lot. It helps them understand, as a leader, here is where they are expected before, during, and after the go live. For example, if you need leaders to cascade communications, you might say, at this point in time, we need you to cascade this communication. You can also say, at this other point in time, we need you to remind your people to attend training. That is basically what that roadmap is all about. It lets leaders know ahead of time where they are needed, what is needed of them, and when that is needed. Next, you also want to create what we call a persona-based training materials. Persona-based just means you are focusing your training on targeted personas. So marketing can be a persona, operations can be a persona, sales can be a persona, IT can be a persona, admins can be a persona, human resources can be personas, right? It's basically how you group your training delivery. One thing to keep in mind with quote to cash is this: one size does not fit all. You have to ensure you are providing targeted training resources. And so do long videos, soundbite videos, user guides, checklists. Put all of this together in a centralized hub for all your impacted users. When I do change management as a consultant for quote to cash implementation, I normally help my clients establish a SharePoint site where we put all of these resources for everyone to have access to. Now, before we go on, if you are finding value in this video, please give this video a like. That will really, really help me a lot. Most importantly, though, it tells me that you are finding value in it. When we have a lot of people liking the video, it gives us the incentive to create similar types of videos in the future. If we don't get a lot of likes on a particular video, that tells us people are not really finding value in that video. And in the future, we create less types of videos like that. So if you are finding value, please give this video a like. All right, so next we move on to phase 3, which is the implement and manage adoption phase for your quote to cash rollout. During this phase, you will deliver your targeted communications through emails, newsletters, town halls, videos, as well as using that centralized quote to cash change management website. Ensure that you are keeping your messages transparent, succinct, and also consistent. The goal really is to make sure every audience that is impacted by the quote to cash implementation gets the right information at the right time through the right channels to build excitement, readiness, and sustain adoption of the quote to cash. You can use this template on my screen for your communication plan. You also want to launch, manage, and support your change champions, starting with a kickoff meeting where you will be going over what exactly does it mean to be a champion for a quote to cash rollout. What are the roles and responsibilities? You want to ensure you go over those. And remember, I will give you access to a free champion onboarding deck that you can use for your onboarding kickoff session. You also want to deliver white glove leadership onboarding and coaching for your quote to cash implementation. This really helps your leaders get a personalized understanding of what's in it for them and how the quote to cash will benefit them personally in their day-to-day functions. I recommend that you do one-on-ones or group sessions for these leaders to ensure you are giving them a special white glove approach. You also want to deliver your detailed step-by-step hands-on quote to cash training. This helps equip everyone that will be impacted by the quote to cash. It provides them with the knowledge, the skills, and the confidence to use the quote to cash processes and a system effectively. You also want to ensure that you manage resistance proactively and reactively. And once again, you can use the free risk mitigation template on my screen for your purpose. But keep this in mind. You want to ensure you are leveraging your change champions and leaders to mitigate resistance to the quote to cash rollout. Okay, very important. You cannot do it alone. You need help. And so champions and leaders are a critical partner for you to leverage to mitigate resistance. You also want to ensure you track adoption metrics like user usage. How are people using the changes from the quote to cash? How are people completing training as well as any FAQs? You want to ensure you are tracking everything. And phase four is where we sustain and reinforce the new behaviors for using the quote to cash processes, tools, as well as other changes that are implemented from this quote to cash rollout. You want to ensure you continue to maintain your change champion network as well as feedback loops. Continue to keep champions and leaders engaged throughout the post implementation phase for your quote to cash. And that can be via monthly or quarterly meetings, surveys, as well as using a collaborative platform. So some people use Slack, Teams, Zoom channels to ensure they are engaging with their champions and also leaders. You can also ensure that you continue office hours and user support to make sure you continue to provide help as well as refreshing training when needed. You will want to continue to measure adoption during the sustain phase. So continue to track usage, engagement, and receptiveness to the change. Capture and integrate lessons learned so that future rollouts can learn from this experience. Recognize and reinforce adoption by celebrating success stories, highlighting top users, and showing the impact the change is having. What I normally do as a change management consultant for quote to cash implementation is I draft recognition emails and I give those to leaders to cascade to their organization. Those emails are recognizing people that are top users of the quote to cash implementation as well as super users. When people feel recognized, it makes them want to do more of that behavior. What about the people that are not recognized on those emails? Well, it makes them want to be recognized in the future. And so what they end up doing is adopting more of the quote to cash and using more of those processes and changes to ensure that they can be recognized in the future. Okay, now here is the summary of the four phase approach that I use to deliver change management for quote to cash. During the first phase is when I do my series of change management assessments. There are 8 assessments which I went over during the beginning of this call. And on this slide, you can see the list of assessments and mappings that I do. I then move into the design and develop phase for the quote to cash implementation. During this phase is where I develop the change management strategies and plans. I build the communication assets. I build materials and resources for training, for coaching, as well as developing a centralized enablement site. And then we have the implement and manage adoption phase. And during this phase is where we implement the change management deliverables, and we also track adoption to support the quote to cash rollout. And then finally, we sustain and reinforce the new behaviors by embedding the changes into day-to-day operations. One thing to keep in mind is this. For your quote to cash implementation, this 4-phase change management methodology you are looking at on my screen is time bound and scalable. What exactly do I mean by that? What I mean is you can apply this model that you are looking at on my screen for a small pilot, or you can expand it enterprise wide with the same structured 4 phase cadence. All right. And doing change management, we all know is not easy. I know that for a fact. I've been doing change management for a long period of time. And organizations often hire my change management firm to help them achieve the best change management successes for their program and to drastically reduce resistance and increase adoption. My organization, Airiodion Group, is one of the top best rated change management consulting firms, and we support all organizational sizes, including small, mid, and large scale organizations. If you have any questions or you need help with doing change management for your organization, you need somebody to do the heavy lifting, don't hesitate, reach out to me, see the link below. Also below are the links that I promised you throughout this video. You will find the link to the free readiness assessment survey. You will find the link to our free centralized library that includes about 20 or so free templates, checklists, playbook, and other resources that you can use. And don't forget to like this video, as that lets me know that you have received value from it. You can also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss great content like this one.